Do it.
Started. Okay.
So, William, just keep that in mind next time, okay? It'll be all right. A little bit of baby oil, it'll be fine.
You don't have to live with the itching, but I'll deal with it.
The best kind is ground from fresh babies.
Also true.
Oh, baby oil. Oh, I was like, what? Well, what are we talking about?
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Anyway, yeah, where we left off last time, you were about to fight Skovald's second form, what he's referred to as his true form. The remains of him, his physical form, are still on the ground. However, it's sort of split in two, think like a cocoon. And he sort of clawed his way out of it into this world. Yeah. His spectral form is about 40 feet tall and about 30 feet by 30 feet as far as squares are concerned. So takes up a considerable amount of space, like 3 times as much as what you would. Or wait.
Weird question. Would that make him closer to me?
Since he got bigger.
Yes, actually.
So how far away am I now?
Where did we leave off last time? Was it because it was from the door to him was almost 300 feet. And you had pushed through about half of that when you engaged him because he came to you.
We'd have to check the video, but if I remember correctly, I was able to hit him with my new spell, which is called Guiding Bolt, which is 120 feet.
So, yeah, then he'd be... He'd have moved probably another 20 feet closer to you then.
So
let's say I'm sure that the number in the other video is going to prove me wrong, but let's just go ahead and say you were at 80 feet and now you're at 50 feet. Okay.
50 feet. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Now, the first thing that I would like from anybody that wants to make it is an Arcana check. The reason
Everybody can do it.
Anybody in this room can do it, including River.
Oh, that's a 7. Upside down, it looks like a 1.
Dang.
Ooh, Torch knows a lot about this guy.
I actually wasn't going to roll.
Wow.
That's pretty friggin' impressive. Okay, well, so you got a 19, but you rolled a nat 20, so that's pretty impressive. And then Torch's nat 20 also. So this is a fun one. First and foremost, everybody but River was able to make the check to know that this thing was a ghost.
Would I not have known that because it was in the ethereal plane?
I guess I can give you that anyway. You probably shouldn't have even had to make that roll.
Yeah, I knew where that guy came
Anyway,
from.
it was a DC 10. Super simple to figure out unless you just flat out didn't understand ghosts at all.
Yeah.
But what that would give you as far as Lord Dadu, Torch, Mir, all 3 of you would know that physical attacks against a ghost only deal half damage. Because they have no discernible anatomy, so it doesn't harm them as much. Magical attacks still do full damage, though.
What does my sword count as?
It still counts as a weapon. But let's see, the blade Does it say that it deals a different kind of damage? Let me look. If it doesn't say it deals a different kind of damage, then it's just the regular stuff.
Damage type, radiant.
Okay.
Deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage.
Yeah, then that wouldn't count for that.
Okay.
Because this is bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage is really like how it defines it. So as long as the damage type isn't one of those, then you're fine.
Thank you, Lord Dado.
I do what I can.
It really does, like, of all the people that could have gotten that item, I think Emir is going to benefit the most from it right now. Being that you're the hand-to-hand fighter usually, and that would have been definitely a bad thing for you.
Yep. Ironically, I gave you that because I don't do hand-to-hand combat, and then I got the Whisper Blade.
It was
Like,
a fun
well, yeah.
Mom plays tricks sometimes. Okay, so here's some fun. Torch and Emir both rolled a nat 20, and even though there isn't a way to crit this check, I think that that should give you something. And I think that what that's going to give you Ghosts are vulnerable to radiant damage and fire more than any other damage. And since they are a ghost, there is no way to actually kill them. They just go back to the ethereal plane. So if you want to truly defeat this enemy, killing it is not the way.
This is the way.
Which is going to prove challenging.
Is it though?
But that's the extra added bonus that your fearless leader and our paladin companion have that no one else got out of this. Is how best to fight it, basically.
Do paladins have exorcism?
An exorcism is a ritual that you can perform, but it's not a spell.
Also, typically, an exorcism is casting something out of a physical body. We did that part already.
Yeah, if we had a cleric, Turn Undead would do it. Turn Undead destroys undead. But this is not what we've got in our arsenal right now. But that's some very beneficial information, I think, for all of you. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start at the top of the initiative. After you all have that information, Torch, it is now your turn to choose what to do.
So is there a body I can burn? Like what?
His body is on the ground.
Yeah, I want to, can I firebolt his body?
Sure. It's prone, so it would be with disadvantage to attack him unless you were like right on top of it.
It's a range of 120 feet.
Also, I kind of want his body. That sounds so terrible.
Wow.
So here's the thing.
Alright.
Here's the thing.
Damn.
That even if you, the player, or your character want his body, if Torch makes a different choice right here, that is metagaming. Because your character hasn't had an initiative turn yet.
However, Torch would know because she was in the room when I told my mother we were going to bring his remains to the forge, throw that in there so that Mom could help relight it.
You're right. Good point.
Just saying.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. Because that is something that she was in the room for. What I was more referencing was your needs and wants right now. But since that is in retrospect, that perfectly makes sense. Still though, if you want to make that roll, you can. Just
I was,
tell me what you want to do.
I was like, what are my chances that it's actually gonna like burn his body into nothing though? All right.
And can that,
Trying to think what else I have.
question, why are you attacking the body?
Because they said something about all we're gonna be able to do is put him back into the plane, right?
Okay.
If we attack the spirit. So I was just thinking if we attack the body, maybe we're actually like kill the whole thing. That's all. Trying something new, people.
I like it.
Yeah, but
What
they
I
like to
love
trick
is
us
that
too.
everybody is trying to figure this out, and Kelly has some initiative, and it's like, wait a minute, why would you bother to do that?
I got nothing but fire. I'm so sorry. Okay,
Do you
I
have
got an
anything
ice
that
knife.
does radiant
You're not
damage?
doing anything that is going to hurt the plot.
Okay, yeah, ow, what did you just do? Cat just bit the arm of the chair and took a chunk out of it.
Oh no.
I'm still gonna do the fireball at the body. Let's see
Okay.
what's happening. Sorry, Ray. I don't think it's gonna obliterate the body.
Kick its ass,
Save-
Seabass.
Did you say fire bolt or fireball?
Fire bolt, that's what I have.
Okay.
And you said I have to do it at disadvantage?
Well, remember, they still said that he's vulnerable to fire and radiant damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even as a ghost.
So you could just shoot it at the ghost.
The idea is that think about it like this. If you kill the devil, where does he go?
Back to hell.
On the other hand, if you can find a way to exorcise that demon, it doesn't get to go back to where it goes. So really what you're trying to do is find a way to kill it here and not a way that's going to kill it and send it back there. And the one thing that you've picked up out of that is that ghosts are vulnerable to fire and radiant damage. So you are 100% inside of your realm of thinking. Like, I'm not saying your decision is the wrong one. What I'm saying is that I want to be clear that those two things also deal damage to the ghost.
Mhm. Mhm.
So like they said, kick his ass, Seabass.
Right. If your choice was based 100% because you didn't think you could harm the ghost with it, that's not right. You can harm it. But if you want to try and burn the body and see if that's going to do anything beneficial, have at it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try that.
Do it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. $16? Okay. Are you gonna roll a second time?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, it's all good. And the dice gods have spoken. Yeah, 16 will hit.
It's not 16, it's 21.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is 16 will hit on its own.
Oh, so you don't need the.
No, like she definitely hit is my point. Okay, so do damage.
Do lots of damage. Yes. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
So okay, his body is on fire.
Yes. Torch, living up to your name.
And the body's on either side of him, right?
Yes, it is off to his right. I'm loving sort of the picture of this because every beat of this has happened in about 3 seconds. So like the body bursts open, giant ghost comes out. Everyone looks at the ghost, intimidated as shit for a second, and Torch goes, "Burn the fucking body." Immediate reaction, like 6 seconds after seeing a ghost. Nope. Boom.
In her defense, if you've seen Supernatural, I'd burn the body too.
You're supposed to salt it first, though.
Well, so the body
Oh,
is
shit.
on fire. It has not like turned to ashes or whatever, but it is on fire. So that'll be Torch unless you also want to try and move.
I'll move away.
Okay. So from your position to the door, you can get there in 1 turn. So you're all like, as you were one of the people that was furthest at the back. So you can actually get all the way to the exit of this room without having to take any extra action. Do you want to go all the way
Yes.
there?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me look at your what's my DM screen. There we are. There.
Do you have a whiteboard showing or anything showing where we all are?
What, in like relation to things?
Yeah.
Not right now, no.
No.
Okay, wow. I forgot your passive perception was so high. Okay. So you've got a 16 in passive perception, so I'm not even gonna make you make this roll. When you get out to the door, you can now see out into the square behind you. And in every possible outlet from this square that you can see are more of these sort of shadow beast creatures that you've been fighting up to now. And it looks as though the members of the Rottens that had gone out to fight against the chaos are currently keeping them at bay. So you are basically cornered here. Next in initiative was Scovold. Okay. So I think the closest one to him now is Emir. So I need Emir to make me a Constitution save.
All right, Amir's gonna roll. We're gonna call it well. Well
Okay.
done.
Okay. So Scovold goes and takes one massive hand and just clamps it down over the top of you and presses. And if you don't feel like a physical gigantic hand on you, what you feel is this sort of ectoplasmic force push over you. And as it does, you feel it cut you off from air. You are like covered in this goo now that is his hand. Now he's gonna roll for his damage.
Uh-oh. In case I can't say this later, it's been an honor traveling with all of you.
You're gonna take 17 points of damage. I love you too. It is. Well. Okay.
Heather, chat.
And that's his turn. He's not going to try and move. He's going to try and kill Emir first. It is Lord Dadu's turn.
Okay, where am I in relation to Ymir?
You are about probably about 30 feet back from him.
And how far does that put me from? How far is Ymir from the door?
Emir is almost halfway into the room. So he's at about 150 feet from the door.
And can we see like this hand or anything over Ymir?
Oh yeah. Like I said, he's massive, this creature, and just one big hand went vroom, down over the top of Emir. And to give it a context, think about this thing almost like it is an ooze, except it is a giant hand.
Nickelodeon slime.
Basically, you can't say that on television.
Really? Oh, is that from the show?
It was a name of a show back then where the slime came from.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers
Like
that.
Alanis,
or why this-
Alanis Morissette was on it, right? Like that's
was.
where she got her. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, that's where she got famous. Yes.
Are there any other party members within 10 feet of Ymir?
No.
Is the bad guy within 10 feet of Ymir?
No.
Oh.
At huge size, he has a 20-foot reach.
Hmm.
That'll work.
Depends.
Ymir seems planning something, so Danny's
Okay.
probably not gonna play. All right, so if I'm 30 feet from Ymir and Ymir's 150 feet from the door, that makes me what, 110 feet from it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're about 110 feet out.
It boggles my mind when he does that. Although I suppose muting himself doesn't. So never mind. I guess that makes sense.
Okay, so what do you want to do, Ryan?
So first I'm going to use my movement to back up my full amount that I can without using my action.
Okay, so what's your speed?
30 feet.
Okay, so you back up 30.
Yeah, and then in true me fashion and everything, and I really hope this doesn't bite River in the tail later and everything. It's time for some Eldritch Blast.
And then I start blasting.
So that's a 26.
That'll hit. Uh-huh.
But it's
All
only,
right, so that's round one. No, it's full because it's
It's full.
magic.
oh, okay.
So
15.
I don't think. Say that again.
15's a hit. Okay. $16 will hit, yeah. Okay.
And one more round here. Well, that won't do shit.
Yes, sorry.
3 out of 4 is not bad.
No, not at all. So
And
11.
I got to do some damage.
37 points of damage. Nice.
And he already had 14.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next in the initiative is River.
I'm gonna get as far away from him as I possibly can first.
Uh,
I don't know where I am or how close I am to him or the door or whatever because I forgot.
You are technically further away from the door than anybody.
Okay.
You're just not right next to this guy.
I will move as far as I can towards the door. Whatever my speed is that I'm allowed in London.
That's what I'm about to look up. When you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of your turn using feline agility. You cannot use it again until you move 0 feet on one of your turns.
I'm gonna do that, which my regular walking speed is 30 feet, so I'm moving.
So that's
60 feet
60.
towards the door.
Yes. However, if you use your full turn to move, you get to double your speed. So with feline agility, your movement is 120 feet.
I'm gonna do that. I was gonna hold my action, but because I don't have anything that would even hit him, I don't think.
Well, and that's the thing is that like I'm trying to be clear that like physical attacks still hit him. They just deal
Right.
less damage.
Right, I understand, but like, I don't even have anything with that kind of a range right now.
Not from where you're standing. You'd have to move closer.
Exactly, which is why I would like to move as far and as fast away from him towards the door as.
Okay, so we're gonna say you're 180 feet in.
Okay,
So that's gonna put you 60 feet from the door.
perfect.
Okay.
I'm done.
That puts you at almost the same place that Dadu is at. Like you're right behind him.
Can I also speak on my turn? I mean, I can speak anytime, right?
You can speak on your turn as a free action. But it's just, can't be super long. Like imagine what you could fit into 6 seconds.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna yell to my party, we need to get outside. And that's it.
Okay. And that's the end of River's turn. That makes it Amir's turn.
First question. I had fire shield on. Does him hitting me with his hand count as a melee attack?
It does not.
Okay. But his hand is on me, right?
Correct.
Okay. I don't know if this is actually going to work. If I've read this correctly. Somebody pray. Guiding bolt, I hit him with it last time, which means that I now have advantage on any attacks made against him this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that. I'm going to try to strike his arm that he's touching me with my Sunblade.
Okay.
Nice.
Good idea. Bam.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 27 will definitely hit.
Okay. First, I'm going to roll the damage for that.
Which is just silly. Okay.
Then, since I hit him, I'm going to go ahead and roll. Where is it? Divine Smite. I'm going to go ahead and expend 1 spell slot to cast Divine Smite.
I'm going to pause you for 1 second, William, because I know that Brooke's over here taking notes. Keep in mind that these things that are radiant damage deal double damage.
Double. So that's.
Okay.
So that Sunblade damage of 11 would be 22.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay.
Sorry. Please continue.
Divine Smite does. Is this counted as an undead or a fiend?
Yes.
Okay. So 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first. So it's just first. So I'm going to, and 1d8 against undead or fiends. So I'm going to do a total of 4d8.
Cool.
So
This is a stout amount of damage you're dealing.
That's one.
Two.
3. And 4. Then I'm going to use my channel divinity. Immediately after you deal damage to a creature with your divine smite feature, you can use your channel divinity as a bonus action to distribute temporary hit points to creatures of your choice within 30 feet of you, which can include you. The total number of temporary hit points equals 2d8 plus your level. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that. Seven. 8. So I just received 15 hit points.
Nice.
Very nice. Smart.
And I raise my shield and attempt to back out my full speed, which I think is 30 right now.
So while you're inside of this ectoplasmic field, it's considered difficult terrain, so your movement is halved.
Okay, so half of 35 is round down and round up.
You round down.
So I'm at 15. So I move 15 feet backwards,
Okay.
but I'm not actually using disengage, but I'm braced against him. I'm still defending myself against him.
The terminology I tend to use is that you've taken a defensive stance.
Yes, there you go.
Am I
I
reading this?
cannot believe that worked.
Am I reading this correctly? With that radiant thing that he just did another 40 damage.
So
So 40 plus 22.
8 plus
Yeah, it was 20 points
then 40.
and I forgot to double it. So yeah, 40.
There you go.
40 plus the 22 from before. Dang.
No touchy. No touchy.
We've dealt 124 points of damage. We don't know how many points it's regenerated because I think it might be able to do that. I don't
Whoever's next. I believe that's my turn.
Yep. Next in the order is Tonks.
Okay, so I think if I remember right, I was either at the door or just outside.
You had moved just like to the opening of the door. You had said
Okay.
you were trying to stay back, and so you hadn't really moved past there. So that would mean that you and Torch were at the same spot.
Okay. So I would like to use Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
I love that.
Um,
Love that name of that spell.
and I'm gonna, can I do it and move at the same time, or like, can we
Yeah.
pretend?
I
moving at
mean,
the same-
technically, like we break it up for the combat as a movement and a major action and a bonus action, but the reality is it's technically all happening at one time.
Okay.
Like think about it in real time. You can shoot a bow and run and talk at the same time.
Okay. So I'm going to address him and I'm gonna say, "Come on out and get me, you ectoplasmic Ivor bootlicker." And then I'm gonna step backwards and see if I can get Fuckface to follow me.
That's my bard. That's my bard.
Okay.
Okay, come and get me. You licking how do you spell
Yeah.
Cosmic?
Yeah, I wrote it out ahead of time. I had this planned. There.
Thank you. I needed that. Ectoplasmic Ivor bootlicker. I'm gonna use that insult to somebody sometime this week. But I'm gonna feel really good about it. Thank you. That's amazing.
Okay, I'm pulling up Vicious Mockery so I can look at it.
Yeah, do I have to hit this or?
That was so
If the
vicious.
target can hear you, though it need not understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its turn. Okay,
Nice.
so let's
Ooh, burn.
roll some dice. Okay, and what is the DC on yours? Let's take a look. Spell save DC is a 13. And he rolled a 13, which makes it your win.
I just lost the game log. Just went blank.
See, I think it's got to be something on D&D Beyond side, because like that's where it started for me. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, yeah, so with his minuses in his wisdom saves, he got a 13. So
So you get a roll a d4.
you get to roll 1d4 and he gets disadvantage on his next attack.
All right. And that's just back on.
Is it half because it's a specter?
Ha-
No, it's not. damage.
No,
Okay.
it's just for physical damage.
Damn it.
Hey. You never know when 1 point could make
It's-
all the difference.
It's okay, honestly, in my opinion, the bonus for Vicious Mockery is not the damage, it's the disadvantage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
True.
Because like the damage is always good, don't get me wrong, but if this dude attacks Amir and rolls a nat 20 and a nat 1, all of a sudden Vicious Mockery mattered a lot.
Yeah, we go from I buy you a mug to I buy you the bar.
Okay. So hold on. So you cast Vicious Mockery. I assume are you not going to move at all then?
I want to step backwards.
Want to step
To
further
kind of
back?
like try,
Okay.
yeah, try to get him to follow me outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and your passive perception is just as good as Torch's, so you also are able to behold what is going on outside.
Okay.
The reason why that matters is that you're currently engaged in a pretty intense fight, and so other fighting around you probably not going to catch your attention unless you're really paying attention.
Okay. Question for you about the area out there. Like, how big would you say that area is? Like where the fighting is and like where we are? Like, what's the?
So there are, I think, 3 or 4 major like roads that lead from where you're at, like in this square, out to the rest of the city. And each of them is just packed with these bug creatures. And there's probably between this entire lot of streets, something like 30, maybe 40 different members of the Thieves Guilds currently repelling these things. The size of the entire like square area is probably shoot from the longest points across almost a mile. But then from the shortest point, like from where, say, the entrance from one of the roads would be to the square to the door, is about 150 feet.
Okay.
So like it's not very wide, but it is very long. Think like a strip mall that just continues onward. That's sort of what this area is. It's a bunch of shops and things like that. But clearly it's in total chaos right now.
Oh.
So there's probably, I don't know, hundreds of these bug things.
All right, I believe that does me in then, right?
Yep. Yeah, that would be your whole turn. Which takes it back to Torch.
River screams from by the door.
Actually, no, that happens at the end of your turn. Never mind. The body's still on fire, so regardless of whether you attack it or not, it still takes fire damage at the end of your turn. So if you want to continue to attack the body, that's an option. It'll die faster or well fall apart faster. But if you don't do anything, it's still going to keep going.
Just a quick question. If she hit the body with fire and this thing's weak to both fire and radiant damage, wouldn't that have been double the damage?
Yes,
Did we count that last time?
I didn't
I
count
did.
that damage because it was to the body, not the specter.
I did.
Towards the specter?
No,
Oh.
towards the body.
Got it.
Yeah, the body is a separate thing. The specter is also like they're separate entities, even though it's the same consciousness, I guess is the best way to call it. But I have been keeping track of the body in my head because so far it's only taken 14 points of damage, and at the end of Torch's turn, it takes another 2d6. So if it takes its entire hit points as a living creature's worth of damage while it is a corpse, then it reduces to ash. So right now it's taken 14 points of damage to Skovald's total hit points of 27. Just to keep you in the loop. It's entirely likely that this thing is going to fall apart next turn, if not this turn. Depending on the rolls.
I was saying, I'm gonna firebolt the specter this time just for funsies.
Okay, go for it. Do-do-do, do-do-do. That is not gonna hit. Sorry.
Roll for damage anyways.
Yeah, why not? Okay. All right, that's 28 points of damage you didn't do.
Right. I get to press the buttons anyways.
Yes, yes. That is the joy, you know. I get to collect the shiny math rocks. Okay. You still get the opportunity to move if you want to.
I'm still by the door. I'm all right by the door.
You are. You and Tonks are like right next to each other, basically. The closest person to you other than that would be Lord Dadu and then River. And then Emir.
I thought River was behind me.
Behind you, you were backing up. And so what I'm saying is that that's your forward. And so she's behind you.
Okay.
If you want to put it in the context, just reverse it. The point is that as far as proximity to the door, Lord Dadu is closer than River.
The Skovald's turn?
Yeah, Skovald's turn. But first, I get to roll this 2d6 points of damage. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. So that's another 20 points of fire damage to that body. So that is 34 points of damage.
Why does the double happen to the body? I thought the double was only to the specter.
So ghosts and undead take extra damage from fire. That's just part of their material makeup.
Oh, so
this
the body.
This, however, has nothing to do with that. What this is that this is a dead body, and I have personal experience to tell me that people can cremate things.
Got it.
So in this particular case, I'm not honestly sure if there's even a rule for this, but I've homebrewed the idea that if you can deal the same amount of damage you dealt it in life, in death, then this thing is going to turn to a pile of ash. Yeah, this thing is what was still looked, even though it was a mangled remain of it, still looked like a dwarf. What is left now is a pile of ash and bones, sort of smoldering.
Is there anything else in the pile?
Hold on 1 second.
He said because he's a loot whore.
Luthor.
What did you say, William?
I'm a loot whore.
Just like
No,
you.
before that.
L-U-T?
No, that was
Honestly,
LUT.
I'm a
No,
big
that's
fan of
Dave.
the bard
That's
right now,
Dave.
so yes,
I'm the
absolutely.
Luthor.
It sounds like the kind of thing that somebody would say to a bard to insult them. Oh, it's the loot whore.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Okay. There we are. Okay, I needed to find a chart here. So. Okay. As the body is reduced to ash, Skovald shrinks in size. He is now a large size creature.
Ooh.
Wait, wasn't he a large size before?
He was huge size before.
Huge.
That's the size
Huge.
category above large.
Mm.
One above that is Fluffy.
Well,
Big boned.
gargantuan
wanna
and
say-
colossal come next, and trust me, you don't want to fight anything colossal. That's like continent.
No thanks.
For the record, none of us tried to discourage Torch from burning the body. We just asked what she was doing. That was. I would high five you, but I'm not close enough.
So, Torch, I'm actually going to give you an inspiration point off of that.
All right.
Great job.
It was creative thinking outside the box, and it 100% made sense. It, however, is not how you kill the ghost. But it does mean that you've definitely dealt some significant damage to what he can do.
Yes.
2 questions. Is his hand still in me?
On you.
On you.
It's, I mean, fixed one way, but it is technically a goo, which is the reason why he couldn't breathe before. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's shrunk enough at this point that it is no longer covering you. Between
So
your
after it gooed me, it shrank down.
what?
So after it gooed me, it shrank down.
Yeah, it's a one-hit wonder. Between your movement and burning the body, this thing is now shrunk far enough that it is no longer encompassing you. So you don't have to worry about making any more checks for that. Which is good because one more check fail and you would have started taking some exhaustion damage as you suffocated.
Awesome.
Okay, but it is now Skovald's turn. So let's roll something. How much damage do you have him at right now?
125.
Okay. Okay.
Does hit points change when he changes size?
They do?
Kelly, for the record, that's number 47 while we bring you along.
That's what?
That's reason number 47 why we bring along Kelly.
Only at 47. I feel like we should be much higher.
Order 60
no.
is on
That was
Oh, 467. Okay.
so that's reason number 47. There's a lot more reasons, but that was reason number 47. We bring Kelly along.
Okay.
Heather, I wonder how you got blurred and your background got in focus.
Oh, hey. Well, that's more fitting, right?
So Skovald does not hit anything with a 3, even with his modifiers.
And he had to roll a disadvantage.
Oh fuck, you're right. Let me roll again.
Come on, that one. Come on, that
What's the
one.
point? Like that's entirely the reason why.
Ah, shit. We'll take the other one.
We'll take the 3.
Well,
so,
yeah,
but-
he's gonna have to take the 3 anyway, but you're right. I mean, if he rolled a nat 1, that would have been worse. So, but Yeah, a nat 3, and he's going to attempt to attack Emir again, but miss. We'll say that what you see is that he reaches out to grab at you again, and as he's doing it, his body shrinks a size and he goes wham! And his hand impacts about 10 feet in front of you. And even he's confused by what just happened. And that is his turn, I think.
He's not gonna move.
Will
Actually,
are you headed toward the door?
here, I'm gonna give it percentile.
What'd you say, Ryan?
So you headed toward the door.
I was moving backwards, but I was in I was encapsulated for a second there. So
So I'm glad you pointed that out, though, that he's not going to move. I actually decided to roll percentile to see whether or not he would, because the only other thing in this room that he has decided that he doesn't like is he doesn't like the cat person that can go into the ethereal world.
Not anymore. She can't. She already used that ability.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that, and he doesn't know that it was a magic item. He just knows you got there somehow, and that's where he lives.
Right. Okay.
So rolled percentile, it was a 50-50 shot between whether he'd continue combat with Emir or whether he would focus his attention on River, and he rolled to focus his attention on River.
Great. Glad I asked that question.
So his full movement is 60 feet. So he's going to move 60 feet towards River, which now puts him between River and Emir.
And how close is he to me? Does
He is 10 feet away from you.
that give me an
Wait,
attack?
he
It does not.
Doesn't he
And-
give me
and how-
one though?
What?
Wait, if he
If
goes,
I'm between, if he I'm in front. Am I closer to the door than she is? Because I thought I was closer to the bad guy than she. Okay,
You're closer to the door
all
than
right, never mind. Okay,
so does he move past Emir and Emir gets an attack of opportunity?
Mm. Yeah, okay. He's got tons of different ways that he could move past Emir without that, but yeah, I'll give you that. He's likely just going to go straight at you after what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, sure.
Because I went.
You get one basic melee attack, William.
Ran up.
Thankfully, you get it with the Sunblade. A 20 will hit.
Yay!
Very
Nice
nice.
roll.
For the record, his AC went up when he got smaller.
Oh.
that's not good.
Well, when you're larger, you're easier to hit.
So that's actually
Mm.
damage.
That's 20 points. of
and I will cast the might again.
Can you do that on an attack of opportunity?
I don't think you can cast anything. I think it's just a basic melee attack.
Oh, okay, cool.
But that's still a significant amount of damage for just a basic melee attack. Okay, so he is now officially, as far as like order is concerned, Emir is the closest to the center of the room now, and then Skovald, and then River, and then Lord Dadu, and then Torch, and then Tonks. So this thing is a large size creature, so it's now about 20 feet tall. So, you know, like almost triple River.
Cool.
Which means that now, Emir, you are not able to see the rest of your party. Because he's between the two of you, or rather the two groups of you.
So he's not translucent or anything. He's solid.
Yeah, he's not translucent enough that you can see clearly through him. If you
Okay.
want to compare it to something, imagine if he was a clear translucent bubble, and inside of him is a whole bunch of dark smoke.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can't see through that because it's so obscuring, but you can tell that he is translucent or transparent in some way. It's just
Okay.
not as clear as you would hope.
He's 30 feet tall,
He is 20 feet tall.
20 feet tall. I don't have a height in my character sheet.
Yeah, that's optional.
Well, it's important for an ability that I had, which I didn't realize. So, how tall am I?
How tall do you want to be?
Backseat me. Can I just be how tall I really am?
According to the source books, typical tabaxi height is between 6 and 7 feet tall.
Great, I'm 6.5 feet tall.
There you go.
Perfect, 6.5.
You're taller than I am.
I think
Like
she's
in
taller
real
than
life?
everybody, actually. Um. Okay, that's his turn. And that makes it Lord Dadu's turn. So, Lord Dadu, from your perspective, this thing now moved through Emir, basically, and is now in between Emir and River, looking down with horrible intent upon your cat person friend. Lord Dadu's only,
You know,
arguably.
I mean, that's speaking an awful lot of words. Jeez. Alrighty. Well, I'm sure my friend will be willing to hang out with me. All right. So, how far away is Scobo from me now?
Oh gosh, he's really fucking close now. He's like 30 feet?
Oh, he's still 30 feet away.
Or no, wait, he'd be 15 feet from you.
And how close is he to the river?
10 feet.
And how close is Ymir to river?
10 feet. How's this fight going?
I feel that we need a nuclear vessel.
Whatever you say, Chekhov.
That's not how you pronounce those words.
It's close though. It was Wessel.
Oh no, I thought you meant. Didn't you call him a? Never mind.
Jack off.
That's the one.
No, I called him Chekhov.
Oh,
Star
oh,
Trek. Chekhov.
I thought
what's
it
wrong with my ears?
was
Do you know where the nuclear vessels are?
you know what happened. Your weird stuff. all the time. Okay, so that
What is Lord Dadu doing? Are you going to continue to try and fight this thing, or are you going to try and leave the room?
How far am I from the door?
We'll
Probably
say
like 70 feet.
Yeah, we'll say 70 feet, 60 feet, something like that.
All right, hold on just a second here.
If it matters as far as like measurement for a spell, I can tell you that. But like, if we're gonna ballpark it.
God, I hope this works well. All right, so Lord Daddy is going to calmly just walk right up to river. Walks up to her, and Lord Daddy is gonna look at her and say, "Let's go for a ride, my friend." Lord Daddy is going to touch the Whisper Blade, and he's gonna cast Thunderstep.
Oh damn! Okay.
And Lord Dadu and River are gonna teleport right outside the door.
cool.
Oh, nice.
I haven't teleported.
And I need I need Scoville to make a Constitution saving throw.
Can you use Thunderstep on another person? Yes, you can.
I can read it to you if you want.
I'm looking at it right now.
Well, okay. Technically speaking, she has to be willing.
I'm
But
so
she is
gonna
my friend.
fall out of this building, and I think I've made that quite clear.
And you have.
But it can only be one person.
It says I can teleport myself and a willing person. You can also teleport one willing creature of your size or smaller.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. Who is carrying gear up to its... Okay, yeah, sure. I read the part about objects and I missed the part about creatures. So, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, it needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Here we
Don't
go.
thank me yet.
I was working on a plan to do a really cool jump spin move with my Vorpal blade, but this is great.
He makes the save.
Oops.
Good.
Wait.
That's actually a really, really good thing.
Taking 3d10 thunder damage on a failed save and half as much on a successful one.
It's
So,
actually 4 with mine, but
okay. So you want to roll it?
I did. I
Oh.
rolled 19 damage for it, so he takes. Do you round that up or down?
When it comes to monsters, you round up. When it comes to the players, you round down.
So it'd be
So,
10 points
10.
of damage.
10 points of damage.
And is that magical at all to where it doubles?
It would not double. It's just thunder damage.
So at 155 hit points, we're still tripping away.
Uh-huh.
River has a
There's-
Vorpal blade?
River
Yes.
does have a Vorpal blade.
I needed him to make that save. Because if he dies for me doing something other than killing him with the Whisper Blade, you die.
Good point.
You die.
Very good point.
It
No,
does.
I don't die. Die.
River dies.
Yeah.
Lord Dadu took that bargain so that Hidari would not kill River. Not so that Hidari would not kill Lord Dadu.
Because I did a dumb.
In your defense, I don't know how dumb it was. Hidari is just a massive bitch.
I mean, that's true.
So, just a mean person.
Is that the end of Dadu's
Mom
turn?
sometimes.
As I understand it, that would be the end of your turn. Because that's your move or your action. Are you wanting to move?
Yeah, that's my movement and my action. So, because I had to get close enough to her to use it, and then I
That's
used
true.
it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, that would be.
that would definitely, yeah, that would take you all the way to the entrance. So,
Well, we should be right outside the entrance.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, what I'm saying is it would take you all the way to your destination. So you're outside of the sort of threat perimeter, I guess I should call it.
And in theory, if his focus is still on River, that should get him moving toward us.
Uh-huh.
In theory.
Okay.
That would be River's turn now. River, you now are teleported outside of the guild hall. And you now can see your family is engaged in a fight to the death against these monsters in the streets.
Let me think about this. How far away am I from the fighting in the streets?
120 feet.
And how far away am I from the big bad guy?
How far does that teleport you, Ryan? What, 200 feet?
90 feet.
90
90.
feet. So you're 90
Yeah, it only
feet.
takes
Wait, 100. 100. You're 100 feet because he was 10 feet off from you.
Oh yeah, by the way, everybody in the courtyard, in the halls, everybody heard a gigantic thunderous boom.
Mhm.
I don't know if that freaks out any of the other bad guys or not. I'm just saying.
So we may have all their attention.
I'm sure we had that anyway.
So are we in the courtyard or are we on the steps of the building? Are we right in the entrance?
You're in the courtyard.
In the courtyard.
Yeah, you're like, you can see the entrance to the guild hall from where you're at.
I
You
don't know that there's anything I can or want to do. Can I hold my action?
you can. There's something that I wanted though. Ryan, can you give me? I need to know high or low.
My kiddo says hi, so we're going high.
Oh, I'm a Goomba.
Okay, yeah. No, the explosive boom was heard all the way out there. It did not seem to destabilize the fighting in any way, though.
You know, I should have went low. Jeez. Wow. You're
Well-
fired.
Autumn fails again.
Oh,
Okay. I'm just gonna stay next to Dadu and hold my action.
You know what? Jamin would have picked low.
You need to text him. You need to text him high or low and genuinely get his reaction.
You know, it's
So
only
if
9.
I hold my action, I have to use it before the end of Tonks's turn, if that's the last person. in
That's correct.
initiative. Okay, I'm gonna stay put and I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell at everybody again. We need to get outside.
Currently, the only member of your party that is not outside is Amir.
Okay, well, I'm yelling at you, Amir. Get outside.
You ever be the one person in the room that everyone's talking about and you only notice it at the end?
Join us.
That does, however, mean that it is now Emir's turn. So Amir, this spectral creature is in between you and the door.
Oh no,
He is 10 feet ahead of you.
but he's focused on me.
Currently, yeah. Actually,
What is the door actually made of?
hold on.
It's the door.
The doorway, what is it actually made of?
It's made out of wood. But something that you might want. So you are behind this guy and his back is to you now.
Yeah.
From this position, you could effectively make a coup de grace. Like an attack dealing your maximum possible amount of damage if you make a called shot. So higher
Which
DC,
is-
massive damage because he's not paying attention to you. But
Because I could also bonus action cast on myself Branding Smite. And I have enough spells to go ahead and do a Divine Smite as well.
so like if you wanted to try and make a called shot on this thing to guarantee maximum damage, you can. But that is your attack. And the worst that happens is that you still attack it. The best that happens is that you attack it and deal an insane amount of damage.
Is it okay to activate those spells too, or should I just do a regular attack?
I think that you'd still be able to do that and activate your spells because this thing is not. It's not that he's not aware of you, it's that he's not paying attention to you.
Okay. I casted Branding Smite. And I step up to him. And I am going to attack.
Okay,
You gonna call your shot?
hold on. Have you rolled yet?
Nope.
I want to put this out here right now. The DC to hit this thing and deal your max damage is an 18. If you can roll
Okay.
a natural 18 or higher, then you're dealing max damage.
And I have an inspiration point to back that up. It's okay if I use it if I fail?
Sure. It's not a natural 18.
What? Why does it have to be a natural 18?
I just said that.
I'm not
It's true.
natural. I understand you said it.
Because
natural 18.
because the DC for the called shot is a natural 18.
Oh, because it's a called shot.
Correct. So you
I'm
can
gonna
use
go
your
ahead and-
inspiration point if you want, but I can tell you right now, an 18 does hit his actual AC. It's just not going to do what I just said. It won't cause a coup de grace.
I went ahead and cast the inspiration anyway, and
Ha!
Ah,
I'm good.
now that's an inspiration.
That is a natural 19.
Nice.
Okay.
Lay him out, William. Lay him out.
Give me a moment.
That's wild.
So your Sunblade does 1d10 plus 7 damage. So that'd be 17 damage plus 1d8 against
plus
undead targets. No, that's. Was that a note that was added?
where?
The plus 1d8 against undead, or was that already on there? Looks like that must
That was on there.
Yeah, that must have been on there. Okay. So then, yeah.
Then Divine Smite does 3d8,
Okay.
and then Branding Smite does 2d6.
Okay.
So 61, and then doubled, I would think, because it's radiant damage.
And then is that 61 including the weapon damage?
That was everything you guys just said.
Okay.
And then it doubles?
And then that.
And then
does.
it doubles.
So that is 122 points of damage in one attack.
That is what you get for smacking me and encapsulating me.
So this thing it's still massive compared to Amir. Like it is like triple Amir's height easily. And it is staring down, just sort of roaring in its like absolute this fearsome guttural howl. And as far as it is concerned, it is now on the hunt to destroy the rest of your friends. And then it feels a searing pain at the base of its skull. As the beam bursts through its head and out its mouth. And you can see its whole sort of spectral form shimmer and begin to fade away. And you can hear in your ears this cackling laughter. And then as that sort of spectral mist gets to where its head is, the thing solidifies, crystallizes, and you start to hear it go, no, no, no. And at the end of your saber is now this black crystalline skull of this thing that clatters to the floor and slides like a piece of ice. Congratulations, you've defeated Scovold.
Way to go,
he missed a
team.
Death blow.
Yeah, he had 300 hit points.
What? And we had
Well done.
520. Wow.
And William dealt almost half of them.
In one attack.
blow.
So
Don't
first of
threaten
all,
my team.
First of all, I know you just spent it, but I'm giving you an inspiration point for that.
That was brilliant.
Because that was one of those where you technically, when you rolled that, you could have rolled a nat 1. And that got real bad real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, though, you just capped one of the most powerful beings in this plane of existence. You are not, even with your background in religion and magic and all the things you've seen, you are not aware of what the hell just happened to Skovald. But you know that he didn't get to go back to the ethereal plane.
Interesting.
So this skull is the skull of a large-sized creature. It looks almost draconic. This horrible, twisted-looking thing. But it weighs probably about 300 pounds. And from what you can tell, actually, as a dwarf, I'm just going to give this to you. It is made out of solid obsidian.
Oh, hey, Mordecai.
Really nice.
What's up, homie?
That doesn't mean anything
So-
special, except you know that obsidian is one of the strongest pieces of stone in existence. Like it takes a lot to melt obsidian.
Fascinating.
Mhm.
A master craftsman put this together.
Master Craftsman put what together? It's the skull of our enemy.
It's the skull of your enemy. That's what I'm saying, is that like what just happened, what was left of his existence is now inside of this thing.
Okay, so now we're out of combat.
Now Ymir is technically out of combat. The rest of you are out in the courtyard. And all hell is breaking loose outside. And then you hear this ominous laughter. And then there is this wave of energy, this sort of gust that nearly blows you over. And you see as it sort of ripples out across the streets that these shadow creatures begin to fall faster.
Oh, like they're dying faster?
They're dying faster. The people that are repelling them are able to kill them quicker. You now are at a point where you should have felt more of that psychic damage, but it doesn't happen.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could we do that wildfire thing again where Ymir attracts all the bugs and then somebody casts fire on them and they all die?
This is in character. I'm down.
Light me up, baby.
I'm already wreathed in flames. I'm going. Let's do this.
Baby, you're a firework.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, now I'm seeing all these creatures out here, and that's what we did last time that we were in a courtyard and they were coming at us.
Except those were bugs and these are shadow creatures.
Oh, they're different?
Yeah.
I tap Torch on the shoulder. Hit me.
You gotta get to Torch first.
That's true.
Okay. It was Ymir. Now it's Tonk's turn.
Sorry. What's like nearest to
We're-
me? Well,
Well, we're effectively out of combat right now, so there isn't necessarily an initiative order. What I'm really saying is that technically your character would have gotten to do something at the same time that Ymir was doing that. So if there's something that Tonks would have done before the end of combat, what is it Tonks would have done?
oh, well, I mean, the next thing that I was gonna do was probably hit it with guiding bolts, but since I don't need to do that anymore,
Okay.
I think I might pivot and maybe shoot my guiding bolt at something that's attacking our friends.
Okay, sure. I'm not even gonna make you roll that then.
Okay.
So, yeah, your combat round with Scovold is now done. And those of you that are now outside here in the courtyard, let's see, what is passive perceptions again?
Mine is 11.
Okay, so
Mine's a 16.
River and Tonks are the only people that wouldn't immediately notice this because the DC is a 15. Who rolled what?
It was just a passive perception.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So with all of you outside in the courtyard, you can see about maybe 150 feet from you. There is the Great Forge. This whole thing that has been stone cold for an unknown amount of time. And you start to see embers lick up from the forge. There's life there again, but it hasn't relit. It's like whatever dark magic was keeping it from working is gone now.
So we need to add fuel to it. Like bad guys.
I know a 300-pound obsidian skull that would do nicely. I'm just saying.
There you go.
So you're gonna put the obsidian skull and the remains of Scovold into the forge.
Yes.
They don't say that he's from the Order of Ashen Teeth for nothing.
Is there anything besides the body and the skull?
No. I mean, they're like the place is littered with bodies of other dwarves that he had killed, like other members of his guild. But other than that, no. This room is basically empty. It was more meant when it was in its use as like a meeting hall, and it had a very ornate looking throne that Scovold had constructed for himself so that he looked more important.
But ornate means jewels.
It's made entirely out of golden kegs of meat.
Hard pass.
But so was that you just being silly, or are you intentionally saying you're going to dump all of that into the forge?
I'm gonna confer with, at the very least, Ymir first. It was his death blow that defeated that thing. And even though the deal with Mom was Skullvault's remains, I'm still gonna make sure he's cool with me destroying his gigantic piece of rock.
That's not the trophy that I want.
Okay, then I'm gonna clear it with torch. So that was the deal. Do you care if we burn the thing?
No, I think we should sweep up whatever little remains of the actual body plus the skull. Let's do everything. Sweep, sweep, sweep.
So yeah, I would imagine we're gonna get some people together and move the gigantic, obsidian skull thing and the remainder of the ash and bone from his body and throw that all in the forge, and then I'm gonna call upon Mother.
The easiest way you could probably do that is by using your bag of devouring. It's not going to eat it for an hour.
Right. Well, wait. Can I fit? I can't fit the rock in there, can I?
I think it's up to 500 pounds, so you should be okay.
Right, but I once had a 9-foot tall tiefling tell me his head wouldn't fit in the bag. So I just
Yes.
want to make sure that okay. So yeah, in that case, the ash, the bone, the rock, just into the bag and off to the Great Forge we go.
Okay. The moment that those items hit the forge, it relights. The skull sort of spins around and its jaws clap open, and out from it blows this blue flame that reignites the whole thing, and in its process melts the skull down. And the entire group of you feel this sort of renewed sense of energy. You all are now able to take a long rest without taking the time.
Sweet. I get my spell slot back.
It is part of the boon of Hidari.
Nice.
And we get our hit points back, don't we?
You do. Uh-huh.
Oh, so we all regain our hit points and our whatever else.
And spell slots and that kind of thing. Like you would get back the use of your goggles.
Right.
Sweet.
We get lucky back. My rage. Oh no, I never used a lucky.
Okay. So
Um,
going-
as we see this thing relight and glow its fun colors and everything, and we feel this burst of energy, I'm going to drop to one knee, bow my head, put my hands upon my sword, and say, "Thank you, Mother."
Good call.
that is a very good call. Give me a moment. I am adding something
That's your mama.
to everybody's sheet. Taking me a minute, sorry. Ugh, 5 players, gosh.
Also, I asked Lord Dado if he could please prestidigitation clean my armor because it was shiny and yellow and now it's not.
So Lord Dadu will kindly oblige. He reaches over with his whisper blade and taps his armor and casts prestidigitation on it. And poof, there, now you're all shiny and yellow again. And then he's gonna high five Ymir, although it might be more like a low five, and say, "That was fantastic work."
Low 5, I like it.
Figure out why that's not working. Should add to everybody though.
Oh. I can use a bonus action on my turn to dash, disengage, or hide.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Is dash just a double movement?
Yeah,
Is what?
double movement. Why are you doing that? Okay, well, I have to figure out why it's not letting me add it to Torch's sheet.
Hey,
but
Kelly,
let's see.
because of your coin, you also have cold spells, don't you?
Hold spells?
Like ice spells? If I remember correctly, your coin was based on water and ice, so I was wondering if it gave you any cold spells.
I don't think so.
Oh,
You can take a look at it. I'm gonna have to figure this out for your sheet in a little later, but so I've added to everybody's sheet. I made a magic item for each of our gods to use as a baseline for whenever you do actually do something that they approve of. So you now, for the remainder of this scene, have the Mark of Hidari.
Where is that?
Yay.
It is a black inky mark that spreads across your back and down your dominant arm. What it grants you is immunity to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons, and immunity to being frightened.
That's cool.
Score.
Mhm. So what that means is that going up against these things that are en masse outside that don't have magical weapons, they now can't hurt you.
Nice.
As my daughter would say, slay.
Slay!
Yeah, it's a very big benefit to doing a favor for the goddess of war, is that she doesn't let people die in combat.
I like it.
Love
Heck
it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason it won't let me add it to your sheet, Kelly, and I think it might just be because I've toggled between so many fucking sheets so quickly.
Where on the sheets?
It's in the inventory. I had to make it as a magic item in order to do it, like have it do what I wanted it to do.
I see it now. Okay.
So it is a magic item. You don't have to attune to it. It's not an actual magic item. It's just you're getting the effects from it, and I'll remove it whenever it stops happening in game.
Cool.
So I think that this is where we're going to call game because it's at our time. Between accomplishing finishing the fight against Skovald and then finishing that quest for Hidari, I am going to give the party 3,500 experience points
Damn.
Each?
each.
Oh, okay.
That's
I'm
badass.
at 27,950 now.
And you're off. You should be at 28,260.
Yeah. Ooh. That puts us like halfway to the next level.
Over half.
Okay, I'm just looking at a little bar graph up there. It looks like half.
The 28,260.
Yeah,
Yeah,
28.
28,260.
I guess you're right. I guess it is about half. I thought it was more than that.
Like it just looks like half to me from here. It doesn't have numbers.
But yeah, so that's where I think we should stop tonight, unless anyone has any last minute things that their characters are going to do.
Pull that a stick and a march out.
Going once, going twice, going thrice. Cool.
Good.
All right, well, that's where I'm going to call game tonight. I think that this went really, really well. I honestly could not have foreseen you getting into that scenario, let alone being able to make the roll, Amir. I'm pretty impressed. In fact, everybody impressed me with their ideas.
You beat me to it.
Very, very creative use of what you had. So, with now one of the two big bad lieutenants down, and Ivor still up ahead, you have a lot still out there. But I think that all of you should be really proud of what you've accomplished so far.
Well done.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Wait. For once, thank you for not staying in the car.
Yeah.
Ha!
I wanted it on the recording.
You want it on the record? Well, as
My daughter,
always,
my daughter said it earlier, and I wanted to make sure it made the recording.
as always, thank you all for coming. This is fantastic. I'm so happy that we get to do this.